Hey everybody, welcome back with another episode of Film Empire. Now, disclaimer, this is not a video about writing scripts itself. I might make another video about that in the future, but this is more about organizing your ideas in order for you to create a script. So this is organizing and getting your ideas. So let's start right after the intro. Now, I've written quite some scripts actually, and you've seen Virus, the short film on the Film Empire channel, and there's actually a method that I use to organize all of my ideas in order for me to create a script out of that. And that is all done on a single sheet of paper, so that I can go to my script writing software, which is celtx.com. It's online, it's free, so that's the software that I use. And then I can just have the single sheet of paper next to me when I'm writing. So you can definitely do this on paper. And I'm actually working on a script right now for a short film that you will see in the future. And as you can see here, I'm working on that sheet. So I am here in Photoshop because for the sake of this tutorial I'm going to do this online. And then the thing I'm going to work with is a story clock. Now what a story clock is a circle, and on there you're going to map your ideas out on a clock. So I'm going to show that here. Now the first thing you want to do is create a circle, and I'm absolutely terrible at creating circles. This looks about right. And then say that your short film is 6 minutes. I'm just saying something. Then you would have a mark over here, a mark over here, here, and here. So now this is the 12 o'clock mark, then you have 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock there. But you can actually map your time codes on there. So this would be the absolute beginning or the end. So that's 6 or 0 minutes. Then the 3 o'clock mark would be 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6 there. So now you have the time codes of your film written out over here. And we can actually start mapping out ideas, and this is actually a really fun thing to do. So I'm gonna create another hand over here, 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 and here. So now I have something to map our ideas on. Now say this part over here, that could be the intro section. Now let's say that a new character gets introduced here. So character, sorry, my handwriting is terrible, especially on the computer. Character intro. So a new character gets introduced over here. And then maybe your character leaves the film here. So character leave. Now if you study some films that already exist, you can see that symmetry is everywhere regarding to the story clock. So if you take a random film and write down all of the events onto a story clock, you'll see that there is symmetry. So if you have a character which is introduced here and it leaves here, then it's nice to have another character here. So that is the worst thing I've ever written. So we have another character intro, then it's also nice to have it leave here. So now without you actually noticing, we actually created symmetry. So if I take a brush over here and make it yellow, we actually have these lines over here. So here the character gets introduced, here it leaves, here it gets introduced, and here it leaves. But we created symmetry on this axis. So if we take a look here, here we have something that happens, and here we have something that happens. So that's actually symmetry. So you can see that the character can introduce, leaves, and we could actually have another action over here. So an important action which happens over here. So say Act 2 begins here. You could have Act 3 here, or Act 3 here, and Act 4 over here. So then an act gets started here, here, and here, and then again we can see that we created symmetry over here, because this is a line of symmetry, and we're basically creating all kinds of shapes regarding to the short film. Now I will actually pop up the script that I'm working on. Of course, I'm not going to show you the all of the stuff here. So what is happening? Okay, so here, this is the story clock that I'm working on now. Some stuff is blurred here, but if I take away this, the info here, you can actually see that there's a lot of symmetry. Now I'll blur the text. You can see that something happens here, and there happens something on the other side of the story clock to complement it. That happens here, and this stuff is the same, and this stuff is the same, and that complements each other again. And here, the stuff that happens here and here is actually complemented by something that happens here. So the whole story clock idea is actually full of symmetry stuff. Now then, when I have my ideas mapped onto here, we can start refining the idea further. Now, when writing a script or thinking of something that you want in your script, the ideas don't like stand in line and come one by one. They'll all hit you at the same time, or at least that's what many people have. So what I like to do is, first off, we'll create a line over here and a line over here. There we go. And what I'd like to do always is write down in 1 or 2 sentences what is happening in the movie, what is it about. So like the key parts of what you're working with. So you can actually write that down here, and we have all of our ideas mapped onto the clock. And then I always like to write the scene numbers onto the clock. So we have scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. And this usually is your outro / credits. So there we go. And now we have all the scenes that we can work with. So then we have here the character introduction. So then we have 1, and we write down what happens in this scene, like the key parts of what is happening. So we'll have Alex enters the scene, and then you can write some additional information on there. And then in scene 2, the second act starts. So this part was the first act. So maybe they find a treasure. I mean, it's really cliche. I can't write. It's really cliche. Treasure. So they find a treasure, and then maybe something happens with that in scene 3. So then in scene 3, they take a closer look. Now this is really sloppy. I'm not putting too much time in there because of this is not an actual idea, but if you look here, this is what I'm working with. Of course, parts are blurred, but you can see that stuff is happening around the story clock. I mapped out my scene numbers. Now you can see that there are two parts of scene 3 and 2 parts of scene 5. That's because those are longer scenes. And then up at the top I have actually in one sentence the key part of what the film is about, and then under there I'm working out the scenes and what is happening in those. And when you printed that part out, you can have it next to you when writing your script, and it's just something that I find really helpful, and I hope it helps you guys as well. So I hope this helps you guys, and if you have other tips for organizing your ideas, put them in the description below. I'd love to read them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, I hope you liked that video. Now click the top box to see my newest video, and click the box below to see a highlighted one. Click my profile picture to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you'll have a great day.